website is going to be installed on what is called a subdomain. Okay? And for all free Toast host site, that subdomain is your club number .toastmastersclubs.org. For Donahue Dunedin, we're Toast club number 2166. So 2166.toastmastersclubs.org. Okay? From a marketing perspective, hey, what does 2166 mean to you? Any ideas? Hey, come on. I mean, we're not as old as the Tampa Club. Pretty old. The lower your number, the older your club. Okay? So to Toastmasters, it might mean a little bit. Okay? But to the general public, it doesn't mean anything. Okay? So how do you market that? Whew. Well, immediately I said, oh, I'm not going to market that. Because Free Toast Host provides you with something called a website alias. And that is just a means of changing that 2166 into a word. So at first, we changed to Dunedin.toastmastersclubs.org because that meant a lot more to me. Okay, I kind of said, wow, okay, you can't market 2166, that doesn't make any sense. But Dunedin, I can market Dunedin because that's where I am. That's my city's name. And again, this is a website alias, so to get this, we go back to that site administration panel, and all you got to do is go over here and type in the word that you'd like to use. However, it is case sensitive and spelling counts. So whatever you type in this box is what other people have to type in this box. The problem that I saw with this was that there is no www. And the demographic that most Toastmasters clubs reach is probably not from the generation behind me, probably my generation. And my generation and my father's generation before me, what do they use? Everybody knows it as the World Wide Web. In fact, President Clinton to this day still calls it the World Wide Web instead of the internet, which is just an interesting little factoid for you. So that's a problem because if you put in www.dunedin.toastmastersclubs.org, you don't get to my website. You end up on the toastmastersclubs.org main page. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, and then you're really confused because people are like, well, I know I'm at the Toastmasters thing, but it's not the thing I thought, whatever. So there's a problem. Not only that, Dunedin. I mean, come on. Telemarketers, look at how it's spelled. D-U-N-E-D-I-N. Telemarketers call me. Oh, good morning, Mr. Tuttle. I see you're in Dunedin today. Nope, no, I'm not. So, and then on top of it, DUNEDITOastmastersclubs.org. 30 characters, right? How does a teenager spell oh my gosh? 10 characters. How do they spell oh my gosh?
OMG.
OMG, right? Who is going to type in 30 characters? Who's the last time you typed in 30 characters into a web address, right? You didn't. So, Free Toast Host does provide a way for you to get a customized domain name. And this is the DunedinToastmasters.com. This is TampaClub.com. This is District48.org. Okay? Where we get rid of the ToastmastersClubs.org name. We just eliminate it. It's not free. Okay? You gotta pay for it. You're gonna go out to the internet and you're gonna find what's called a registrar, and you're gonna create an account and you're gonna search for your name. Okay? And then you're going to buy your name. Here's one little personal recommendation to you. The first thing I would do is decide what you want your name to be. Get 3 or 4 names. Type them in. Make sure you have them spelled correctly. Type them in to your browser address bar and just search to see if anything comes up. Because if you're not ready to buy, when you go to one of these registrars and you type in Dunedin Toastmasters, we have .com because remember, here's the other thing too. When people guess on website addresses, what do they guess? .com, right? Not .org, not .net, not .us, not .whatever. It's .com. So that one, try to get the .com name if you can. Two, if you go to a registrar and you type in the website name that you want, and then you don't register it right there, right then, the registrar will go register that name, and the next time you come back, it'll be $30,000 for that web address. So be very, very careful when you're searching domain names. Like I said, recommend putting it into your address bar if you're not ready to buy that day, because when you put it in your address bar, the only thing is, the domain name goes out, it pings the internet says nothing, 404 return, and it comes back and says to your computer, nothing. So no one knows except you. But if you go to a registrar's website, they'll know that you get it. One question here and then you.
Okay, what happens is basically you put the name, you will take the name, and you do next time you will be the second buy.
Possibly. Possibly. It depends on how good your domain name is. And they have a computer that looks at all that stuff and figures that out.
Maybe I missed this. We already have a website.
Great.
Post.
Yep.
So what we do, the purpose of this, just get something with a unique name.
This is to get the myclub.com name instead of myclub.toastmastersclubs.org. You could get, what's your club name? Brandon Toastmasters. I think you guys already have it, because I was just looking at your site the other day.
Yeah.
BrandonToastmasters.com. If you want that name, then this is what you have to do.
Does
How much?
anybody in the audience have one already?
No.
We have one in my club.
I didn't buy one.
Some clubs do, some clubs don't, because it's going to cost between $7 and $20. Okay? My club has 50 members right now. Okay? That 20, we paid I think like $12.83 or something like that for last year's registration. Okay? That is 2 members' dues for the year out the door. Okay? If you've got a small club, with 6 members, you're talking that's a full third of your budget, and you might not be able to afford to do this. You got a big club. Brandon's a big club, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're the biggest club in the district. Who cares? 2 members. I just got 4 this month.
Well, that brings the question. We don't keep $5 for ourselves. How much do other clubs keep?
We keep, that's what we keep, 5 for the club and 10 for the year.
But I would say, if that's the vision, I would think that would be a worthwhile expense, even if you're small, because you're setting the foundation for who you are. If you want to grow, you've got to be found.
I agree, but I can't make that decision for every club.
Right.
What's the average price you said? Because to my memory, it's like $10 a year.
Yeah, between 7 and 20, depends where you go. There's lots of different places. I'm not going to tell you where to go. We can go to GoDaddy, okay? Oh, the other thing you're going to have to do is once you buy this domain name, you're going to have to go into you're going to have to go to that registrar, like GoDaddy. We use GoDaddy.com. I'm not recommending them. They're not paying anything. Go wherever you want. But you have to go into the domain name server, and then you have to tell it, it's one-time setup. You only have to do it once in your life, and then you're done. But you have to tell it, go here to get my website. Okay? You have to tell it where your website is on the ToastHost server. Okay? And that sounds a little bit complicated, but again, there is this website, support.toastmastersclubs.org. Okay? Very good website. And on that website, you can either go into the documentation, okay? There's an administrator start guide, or you can type into the search box something like GoDaddy. And this was the first return from my search for GoDaddy. How to set up the domain name server. Step-by-step instructions with screenshots to show you what you should be looking at. So the nice thing about using GoDaddy, I will tell you, is you get a lot of support because a lot of clubs use it. You can use anything you want, okay, and there are some general instructions in there, but just be aware, this level of instruction is only available for GoDaddy. Okay, and they do provide it for this. Like I said, I paid $12.83 last year. It's not a lot. And honestly, my club doesn't even pay. I pay for it because I have a business where I do websites and things like that. So I just shuffle it off into my business expenses. But I'm not saying that everybody has to do that. Certainly it is the club's website, it's the club's responsibility. So you need to think about, what your budget, is going to be. Okay. To finish up on setting up that domain name, once you have that domain name server set, you come back to your website, you get into that administration panel, and you type in your custom domain name there. And then that tells the server at Free Toast Host that, hey, somebody's going to come looking for this website, and this is where it is. Okay, so you can't, that's a very important step right there on the end to make sure that you complete the custom website domain. And that's all there is to setting up your website. Now you've got a website. Sure, it looks like this, but people can find it now. You've got your domain name, and you can start advertising Brandon Toastmasters.